Live, we're going to give you a look at Apple's brand new 27-inch Thunderbolt display. Stay tuned. Welcome to Bleeding Edge TV. I'm Andrew Edwards, and this is the show that brings you tech news through the eyes of GearLive.com. And today we're looking at the Apple Thunderbolt display, and I just pulled it out of that box. It was pretty big and unwieldy, so I wanted to kind of get that out of the way before I started up this video. And what I'm going to do right now is just take the remaining stuff off of it so that we can show you what this thing's all about. So first I'm pulling off this cloth protector. Throw that into the box. There's a bunch more on here. There's a bunch of plastic. You probably can't see it until I start peeling it off. Got some plastic here, and this is the new Thunderbolt display, which as of today, every new Mac sold has a Thunderbolt connector, except for the Mac Pro, and we're not quite sure why that one's being delayed. Actually, now that I think about it, it's probably due to Intel not having released Mac Pro grade chipset yet that supports Thunderbolt, but that should be coming pretty shortly, we'd think, because these things would go fantastic with the Mac Pro. That said, you can use these with a Mac Pro or any other Mac that has a mini DisplayPort connector, but if you do that, it will just act as a monitor, and this is actually meant to be a whole lot more than just a monitor, as I'll explain in just a moment. So, while I do this, I just want to thank our sponsor very quickly, GoToMeeting. We appreciate that sponsorship very much. It actually allows us to do what we do here at GearLive.com and our shows Bleeding Edge TV and Unboxing Live. They just, get that last bit off, boom. They just announced a new feature called HD Faces, and what it allows you to do is basically chat with up to 6 other people where you can all see their webcam. High definition webcams are supported, so you can see up to 6 other people in high definition, have a conversation, a group conversation, but they take it a step further in that they also allow you to share files, share folders, share your desktop. So it's really cool, and you can get a 30-day free trial to check it out. Head to GoToMeeting.com, click on the free trial button, and use promo code PODCAST. Again, use promo code PODCAST to get a 30-day free trial of GoToMeeting HD Faces. We think you'll like it a lot. We certainly do. So now I got this plastic off of here. I'm going to move this over. And I'm going to get this one other piece of plastic that's kind of on the stand. This one's kind of awkward to get off. You have to like lift this thing in a weird way while hoping not to destroy it, because it goes along this whole bottom. There we go. That's pretty smooth right there. So now that I've taken all that stuff off, let's get into what this thing does. So it's a 27-inch display, and it's going to have 2 cables coming out of it. One cable is permanently connected, and that's this one. This is a Thunderbolt cable. It's a single, well actually there's 2 things here, but let me unwrap it. A single cord that breaks off into 2. One of them, this right here, is just a charger to charge a Mac notebook. So if you have a MacBook Pro or a MacBook or a MacBook Air, a Mac laptop, this will charge that laptop. Everything else goes through this single Thunderbolt connection. And when I say everything else, I literally mean that. This is the only thing that you connect to your Mac to get everything out of this monitor. And I'll explain that in one moment. The other cable you're going to see coming out of there is this one. This is the power cable. Obviously you need power, so you just plug this into the back, plug that into the wall or your power outlet, and that's it. So back to what Thunderbolt is all about. Thunderbolt is basically a way to get a bunch of different items all to come through one data connection. So you can use a bunch of peripherals, think external hard drives, think external video cards, extra monitors. You can daisy chain monitors, and you can daisy chain quite a few things, up to 6 different items with Thunderbolt, and with only just one Thunderbolt connection going into your actual computer. So that's pretty cool. Let me show you why that's cool using the Thunderbolt display. Alright, so here's where the Thunderbolt magic starts to shine. On the back of this display, we have a bunch of connectors here. We have 3 USB 2.0 connectors, one FireWire 800, one Thunderbolt connector, and Ethernet. So you can plug in anything into any supported device into these. You can plug in an Ethernet cable to get internet access. You can plug in another Thunderbolt accessory that'll pass through here. You can plug in a FireWire. You can plug in 3 USBs. You can fill all of these up, and all you need to do is plug this single Thunderbolt connection into your Mac to get access to all that stuff. So you plug in internet, Ethernet, you plug in a bunch of USB devices, you plug in FireWire 800, and you can daisy chain up to 6 other Thunderbolt devices into here, and the only connection going to your computer is this one Thunderbolt cable. Shifting this back around. Okay. And so as you just saw there, Thunderbolt is actually pretty cool. This monitor, this display, costs $999. It just came out. Kind of your gateway into using Thunderbolt in the new ways that it's meant to be used. It also has a FaceTime HD camera, which is actually the first Apple external display to have that. Up to right now, it's just been the MacBook Pro that's had the FaceTime HD cameras built in. Previously, it was just the FaceTime camera, which was low resolution. So you have a high definition camera in here, and again, all that, the sound, the camera, the webcam, it all goes through this one Thunderbolt cable. So the previous cinema displays, before the Thunderbolt display, it would have the same thing, but it would break up into multiple. So you'd have one FireWire coming out of there, you'd have one USB coming out, and you'd have to plug in a couple of different cables into your computer, and then plus this to charge it, and now it's all over one single connection that you can daisy chain onto this thing. So it's actually really cool. We hope that the Mac Pro gets on board very soon. There's no reason to believe that it won't. You can pick up a Thunderbolt display now. They finally started shipping. Apple announced it, and it took about 8 to 12 weeks or something to actually get them out the door, but they're available now at the Apple Store, at the Apple Store online. So, but that's pretty much it. That's your first look at the Apple Thunderbolt display. We're going to give it a try, give it a play around with it, and let you know further thoughts in just a bit. Until next time, I'm Andrew Edwards. Stay tuned for more tech news through the eyes of GearLive.com.